Hey YouTube, how are we doing? I am Tommy and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about the COC Springer seat on my Triumph bobber that I've got just here. Now, as you well know, I got my bike in the beginning of September, and having a look around on the forums and all that kind of stuff, it became clear quite quickly that the number one mod that people were recommending was basically the COC Springer seat, purely on the basis that the suspension is really hard and stiff on the back of a Triumph bobber. Now, I kind of dispelled that for a little bit because I'm quite a hefty chap, and I never really, when I first got the bike, never really had any issues with discomfort on the back of the bike, despite having a crippling bad lower back. So I never found it that bad, to be honest with you. But I will be honest with you, I did bow to peer pressure, and I thought, you know what? It's not super expensive, so I'm going to grab one of these COC Springer seats and give it a try. So it turned up, and then obviously I couldn't do much with it because I had a bad back. But when I was able to fit it, I just found it very, very easy to fit. In fact, I've done a fitting video, which you'll find just up here. And I was very keen just to see if all the hype was justified. So, having fitted it onto my bike, I took it out for a little bit of a spin. As I said, I never really found it uncomfortable. Because I'm a bigger guy, I've got enough heft in me to make the stock spring on the Triumph bobber, you know, do some work basically. I've got enough heft to make it move. So I never found it really stiff. I imagine it would be more of an issue for lightweight people. I'm never going to have that issue. Anyway, so I went ahead and fitted the COC Springer seat, and I was just blown away by how much of an improvement it made on the ride. No matter how nice I thought that the bobber rode before fitting the seat, or the Springer kit, should I say, it was just on a whole nother level. Buttery smooth, you might say. Now, when I was reading up on the forums, people were saying stuff like, oh, you know, if you put that on there, it raises the seat. It's a load of rubbish. Well, actually, it's not a load of rubbish. It does factually raise the seat a little bit, because there's a little platform that sits on top of the spring, and basically you've got another spring that sits on top of that. So it does raise the seat height by a fraction. However, as soon as you sit on the seat, the spring compresses, and it probably, I don't know this factually, but it probably compresses so that the seat, when you're sat on it, is lower than what it would be when you don't have the COC Springer seat. I mean, you can see, I'm going to jump on now, hopefully the camera's close enough, and you can see how much the seat springs down when I sit on it. Did you see that? If not, I'll try and do a little bit of a close-up. But when you sit on the seat, particularly if you're lighter, you're not going to get much movement in the rear shock on the bike itself, but you will on the COC Springer seat. When you buy the seat Springer kit, it basically comes with loads of different sort of springs and stops, you know, bump stops I want to call them, basically, so you can tailor the spring in the seat to your rider weight. So those myths basically of it raising the seat height, I mean, come off it. The bobber has got a really low seat height anyway, so half an inch or so is not going to make a whole world of difference to you unless you're a proper shorty. I've never heard of anyone fitting it and then not being able to get on it, so I would not worry about that if you've seen that. It is far superseded by the improvement in the ride feel and all that kind of stuff once you're going over the bumps. You know, as I said, I get the shock working on this bike, but every little helps. And if you're in the UK the same as I am, and I guess elsewhere in the world as well, the roads are not what they used to be, and they're full of potholes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to show you like a close-up in a second of what's going on with the COC and how it fits onto the bike and all that kind of stuff. But I'll also interlace it with a little bit of footage of me going over some normal roads, you know, nice smooth roads, and then also some of the hideous roads we've got over here on the Isle of Wight. So you can make a little judgment for yourself. This is only going to be a really quick video. I wanted to show you about this thing because I think it is the best thing since sliced bread. And currently, the price of this is £146.48 shipped to the Isle of Wight, which is an absolute bargain in my eyes. Now, exchange rates may change for different countries and all that kind of stuff, but that is the price for today. And that is the kit for the standard shock. Okay, so the standard Triumph fitted shock. I also believe that will work with the Fox factory fitted shock if you spec that when you purchase your bike, or if your bike's already got that on. Now there are a couple of different other kits. If you've got an aftermarket shock on the back of your bike, like an Olin's or anything like that, and there's some other brands which I've never really looked into, then COC customers will do a kit that will fit onto your shock. And also I've just noticed when I went on their website to check up on the price, they also do now a shorter version, so you don't have this long piece sticking out here. It's probably for a different shock other than the standard shock, so do check that out on the website anyway. But both of those kits, other than the standard kit, which I've got fitted on my bike, add about another 30 quid to the overall price, you know, shipped. So the UK and Australia does have some kind of trade deal, so you don't get hit with loads of custom fees. The price you see on the website is the price you will pay to your front door. This may vary with different countries that don't have a trade deal with Australia and all that kind of stuff. But Michael, the guy that actually comes up with this kit, and I'd like to say none of this stuff is off the shelf stuff. He hasn't just, you know, gathered a load of stuff together and well, that works. This is designed and made by Michael, or Michael might ship it out to get made. I don't know, to be honest with you, but it is all bespoke pieces for this kit. So if you've got any questions, definitely hit up Michael. I had a couple of questions before buying this, and I talked to Michael, and he's a very, very helpful chap, and he always comes back to you very quickly. So definitely, if you've got any questions, don't ask people that don't know. Go straight to the top and have a chat with Michael, because he will see you right. So do take a few moments to check out the footage of the shock in action on some nice smooth roads and some bumpy roads as well. And I'll get some little close-up shots of what's going on actually with the spring itself and how it's fitted and all that stuff. But if you are interested, don't forget to check out in the top right corner, there'll be a little link to my fitting video if I haven't linked to it already previously. Yeah, you'll find out plenty more stuff, plenty of close-up shots of what's going on with what's included in the kit and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you have found this interesting. Really, really is a fantastic piece of kit. Oh, there's a paraglider up there. How cool. Yeah, really, really interesting piece of kit. And some kind of mind goes into coming up with this kind of stuff, because even if I thought about it, I would not even have a clue how to go about implementing it. So fair play, Michael. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. We've got plenty more bobber content coming up soon. And let me know in the comments if you fitted one or if you're contemplating it, and let me know what you think of it so far. Anyway, until next time, catch you later. Okay, this I would class as a smooth road. Okay, this is George Street. This is definitely a bumpy road. Oh, hideous. It's like a third world country up here. Top of it's not so bad, but that bit in particular is nasty. So we're going to head back down Union Street. You probably might not be able to see this because you'll be looking at my spring, but rest assured, Union Street, which goes back down the hill, is also hideous. Okay, this is Union Street.